I am a poor guy and I am never going to earn any kind of significant money in my life. I know it. I'm so ugly, I'm never going to get a girlfriend ever. I'm just a failure and things are not ever going to change. I'm just some big failure in life and this is what my destiny is. Do you make statements like this? Do you understand the implication of making such statements? Today, I'm going to help you break out of these labels that create problems for you and tell you exactly how you need to view yourself as someone of value, someone who is a winner, and someone who is going to kill it in life. Let's do it. I was thinking about different incidents in which I put myself into a corner by saying I am a certain person and that defines who I am. Hey self-helper, today I'm going to break down to you exactly what you need to know about labeling and mislabeling. Two cognitive distortions that play an important role in your thinking process and that need to stop and need to shift towards something much better and much more productive for you. When we look at all of these problems that are associated with labeling, we put labels on each and every person and including ourselves. We find ourselves in different situations where, you know what, based on my performance in this incident, I give myself a certain label. Now, let's say I'm a loser. I'm no good. I participated so badly. I didn't play up to my standard. I didn't present well. I didn't impress that girl. Immediately, that label, it tells me so much about you. Oh, I'm not a good student. I'm not a good person. You see what those labels do to you? Do you see the language? Do you see my body posture when I say those things to myself? Do you see what it does to my sense of thinking? That's the whole issue with this. When we label ourselves, it creates a big problem with regard to who we see ourselves as, whom we choose to identify with. Whereas other people, we see them, oh, he's just into smoking, he's just into alcohol, he's just a loser, he's no good in life. We label those people as being a certain way. Oh, he performed really well, he just beat the shit out of me. And now he's just amazing. He's an amazing person. Wow, what a guy. He goes out and he does so much charity work. We label people all the time. And most of the time when it becomes a problem is when negative events are associated to become a negative person. That's the key. Because when we associate and identify a particular event with who we are, that creates a label and that creates a problem if it is a negative event. The same thing happens if repetitive positive events happen in our lives, and it's important to identify for you which those particular incidents are. So think of different situations in your life where you are facing this. Think about situations in which I am viewing myself a certain way. I am looking at myself as a winner or a loser or an attractive person, an ugly person, a champion, whatever it may be. The point being that we add labels to each and everything that we do. And normally this is a very extreme, very colored and vivid description of who we are. So the greater the emotion, the greater the label that we tend to identify with. So when I was talking about some of these labels that we identify ourselves with, immediately we understand there is a lot of emotion involved. If it's unproductive, negative emotion, immediately my energy drops. My self-esteem goes down the drain. I don't see myself as that person because I'm identifying with the fact that I am a negative person and I'm not an energetic person. I'm a lazy person. So I identify with my label. Now, typically these labels are either what we assign ourselves or what others assign to us. This is the biggest problem, because when someone else tells it enough times, you hear it all the time. A teacher tells her student, you are never going to amount to anything because you are a terrible student. I keep telling you guys on this channel that I was not a good student, and that is true in so many ways. The proverbial, the quote unquote good student, that was never me. But it doesn't mean that I wasn't knowledgeable, that I wasn't smart, that I wasn't intelligent. But I chose to identify it with that thing because someone kept telling me that same thing every day. And ultimately what happens? You hear something over and over again, you start to think about it, you start to act on it, and you start to believe it. And what happens when you start believing in it? You start to associate with it on a day-to-day basis, and then it becomes a part of you, and that develops into your attitude and identity. That's such a damaging problem. This is the power of a label. And when we mislabel ourselves in the same fashion, we create these elaborate stories about ourselves. Oh, there were these incidents. Oh, there were so many instances where I did all of these things, and this is who I am based on that. And many of the times it's all done in a negative connotation. This has a negative connotation to all of the things that we are doing. So that's the power of a negative labels. When we mislabel ourselves, we run into problems. And others also tend to continually see us a certain way. When someone who is a champion of their sport, a CEO of a company, we immediately associate that person's identity with certain words, and we label them as being a certain way. These positive labels do wonders for your self-esteem and how you perform and how productive you are. That is amazing. When they start to identify themselves with those positive labels, those labels that truly describe who they are, then they learn to appreciate who they were, whom they might have labeled themselves as previously. So identify in your own life different situations, different labels that are causing you problems. Comment below and tell me what are the labels that you identify yourself with. Preferably at the end of this video, you should see yourself as a winner. I am a winner. Comment below. So getting to the point, this is an extreme form of overgeneralization where a multitude or a few events come together, and then we identify ourselves with a certain label, and we additionally create elaborate stories in our head saying that we are a certain way, and then it ultimately shapes all of the things that we do. So think about the story that you associate yourself with. Think about all of the different incidents, right? So someone who has gone through a very traumatic incident, now they can either see themselves as a victim in the situation that they're in. I am a victim. There's the label. Now, if I am to shift this, remember I have to identify my label. Here the label is I am a victim. Now, if I am going to shift this, come out of this label that I am a victim, I need to start to see myself as a different person. So that is important. So what do you need to do? Step number 1, identify the label that you have given yourself. You want to change it from a victim to someone who is different, someone who is not a victim, shift it. Okay, now my new label, step number 2, create a new label for yourself. What is my new label? Not a victim. Someone who is powerful. I am powerful. I am someone who perseveres. Immediately the shift happens. When this shift happens, the person immediately starts to identify with the new label. But it's not enough just to say it. Here's step number 3. You need to act on your new label. Start to identify yourself with your new label by acting upon what you have labeled yourself as. So what would a powerful person do in this situation? We don't have to really struggle to act like we are a victim. But basically a victim is someone who doesn't take action, someone who is likely to fall victim to their situation. They are powerless. This is very typical of someone who identifies themselves with a victim position where they cry all day or whatever it may be. Here, on the other hand, a powerful person is someone who takes action, someone who is confident, someone who is competent, does the things necessary to come out of the situation that they are in to ultimately become powerful. That's what you need to do. Take action now against your new label. Whom do you identify yourself as? You think you're ugly? Start to think you're attractive. Attractive? Okay, what do I need to do to become attractive? I need to hit the gym. I need to buy better clothes. I need to talk to more people. I need to clear my mind and ultimately develop myself, watch all of this channel's videos and improve upon different areas of my life. Do that. I am not winning in a particular sport. I am not performing up to the mark. I'm a loser. Shift it. I'm a winner. What do winners do? I have so many videos out on that already. What do champions think about? How do they train? Start to inculcate all of these things in your life and start behaving, start being the label. That's the ultimate goal. Become the new label that you have assigned yourself. Once you become the new label that you have assigned yourself and you're knowledgeable enough to not label yourself in a negative fashion, then things start to change. And when you have these labels, particular labels that you attach a positive connotation to, immediately this can be applied to different areas of your life. This becomes a symbol of power, an attribute that you assign yourself, something that you have of value, something that you truly hold close to you, that you conquered and you changed. Immediately that becomes your new label, a super powerful thing that you can start doing right now. So let's say I was not confident on camera before. Now I keep telling myself I'm confident. And how do I do that? I keep practicing, making more and more videos. I look into the camera lens and then I become more confident progressively. And that's the thing, when you look at progressive change of your label, change happens and you stop overgeneralizing. Remember that overgeneralization is a big problem that we all suffer, and that is super powerful. So check out my video on overgeneralization to supplement the information that you have gained in this video. Remember, step number 1, identify the labels that are problematic. Step number 2, change the label, write down a new label. Step number 3, take action against that new label and then become the new label. I promise you that you will become a totally different person compared to who you are in your life. If you are able to come out of this attachment that based on 1 or 2 events, I identify myself with that performance in a negative fashion and I shift it only to the positive ones. I learn from these incidents and then I shift it to the new labels of positivity that I have now imbibed. Results are going to continually happen for you. So think about that, ponder upon that and tell me down in the comment section below how you are going to do this. Tell me the problem areas and tell me if this strategy works for you. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe and hit bell notifications, because each and every single day I am putting out videos for you to become the best version of yourself in every single area of your life by having you perform better, get motivated, and ultimately feel empowered to become the best version of yourself. And check out all of my videos each and every day. They're coming out just for you. The power of psychology is limitless. And if you can change your mind, you can change your life. So hit the thumbs up button. I know you liked this video and I want to see you share it with all of your friends. Alright guys, this is Vikram signing off and I'll see you in the next session.